Hi, I'm Greg, and I teach a course that's a business course about how to be a successful entrepreneur. It's typically taken in the second year of a Comm program, and these students will have definitely been exposed to blended courses, a blended environment. So even if it's a classroom course, they would have used Moodle, and they would likely have already taken at least one online course. As far as prerequisites go, there is only one, which is a kind of first year Business 101 Business Basics course. Okay, so a quick tour. On this shell, there are 3 modules. The first is an introduction, and it has a lot of the standard features that you'd expect. So, a welcome video, an icebreaker, a bunch of resources, facts, survival skills, how to manage the schedule, rubrics, and how to communicate with the instructor. I'll just open a couple of these, show how that works. Whoop. Somehow we're back to VCC. Sorry about that. So while we're reconnecting, I will point out that there are a couple of support structures. There are rubrics. Wow, this is taking a long time. There are journals, journalings. So people write about what they're discovering. Okay, so let's see if we can open one of these. So there are facts. What about this course? That kind of stuff. There are rubrics. Explanations of how their courses or assignments are graded. And there are discussion guides. Okay, so I have incorporated assessment structures into this course that provide for both feedback from the instructor based on the rubrics, as well as self-assessment, also based on rubrics. And that's important in entrepreneurial studies because it's important for entrepreneurs to be able to assess their own skills and their own potentials, and in fact that's one of the learning objectives. So the component of the course that involved the greatest difficulty was in how to set up the course so that people would become familiar with the basic concepts and then be able to use them. And I'll demonstrate that in one of the units. So first of all, in this unit, people would look at a video of the instructor describing things to look out for and do in Unit 3. Then they would read the textbook. Then there's a self-administered quiz, which is optional, to help them confirm that they did in fact absorb the material from the textbook. But of course the textbook presents one set of opinions. There are other perspectives, and I have provided other material. So YouTube videos, articles. These are optional. After absorbing those, they can participate in a discussion guide with other classmates before moving on to doing a case study. So step-by-step structure. Both units, or actually all units in the course, would follow the same kind of a process, step-by-step learning. And that would help them to gradually absorb the implications of the material they're reading. So that's the process that's actually probably the most difficult part of the course to design, because on one hand I wanted to provide them with a range of material, a range of perspectives, an opportunity to reflect and decide which of these ideas or approaches makes most sense to them without overwhelming them. Okay, next item is the item that surprised me most about my skills in building the course. I have to do a bit of explanation here. I am coming to teaching fairly late in my career after a long business career. I was fairly senior in my organization. I had lots of enthusiastic young people who were quite happy to master software tasks, and I was a bit lazy and let them go ahead and do it and didn't keep up to date on my software skills. So now I find that with a lack of software experience, I had formed the impression that I'm very poor at software, which led me to often be frustrated. With the help of a understanding and kindly instructor, I was encouraged to just calm down and move forward. And I found that calming down and becoming not so impatient and taking the time to master the skills was probably the toughest task for me. And the toughest part of all was changing my opinion of myself that I couldn't do things with software. And of course, if you slow down, take the time and learn, you can do it, and I found that about myself. So, looking back, that was the major hurdle that I had to overcome. But it also made me realize that in most courses, including hard-nosed business courses, it's not just a matter of absorbing ideas. It's a matter of personal transformation for the students taking the business course. They, like me, would have to think of themselves in a new way in order to learn. And so I found that building in structures into the course that would provide the opportunity for support, including emotional support, even in a business course, is a critical thing.